Hello there, and welcome to the Independent Progressive. After the disastrous meeting between President Trump, President Zelenskyy, and Vice President Vance, Cenk on TYT admits to giving credit to President Trump for wanting peace, which wasn't true to begin with, while claiming that former President Joe Biden didn't want peace.
Look, I gave Trump credit for, hey, listen, you want to drive towards peace? Great. Did I give Biden discredit for not trying to get to peace at all between Ukraine and Russia? I didn't see any effort at all. It seemed like they were thrilled to be draining Russian resources at the expense of the Ukrainian people and our budget, right?
3 years ago, when the Ukraine versus Russia war started, Cenk and Anna were wrong about Biden lying to the world in Ukraine about Russia planning an invasion, when in reality former President Biden was trying to prevent a bigger conflict by warning Ukraine. After the invasion, Cenk and Anna tried to justify being wrong. Then here, Cenk gives the impression that the U.S. was somehow antagonizing and too aggressive with Russia.
And obviously, I want to take a quick moment to note, I personally underestimated what Putin was willing to do. And I didn't rely on what Putin was saying. I relied on the intelligence community within Ukraine that was really downplaying the threat. And also, you can't really blame me for being skeptical of our Pentagon and State Department. But I miscalculated here. And what Putin is doing is obviously something that we're 100% against. And this is a terrible update and terrible news, which I have more details of in just a second.
Yeah, so we told you, and for my part, I thought that America was needlessly antagonizing by constantly saying that we could put Ukraine into NATO and pushing up against Russia's border. I thought that was a mistake in the beginning, and I thought that Putin was trying to basically push back against that, right? Well, he was. That is a mistake. We were too aggressive, but he went further.
Yeah.
And the actual invasion means that even if we had said, oh, we're not going to put NATO in Ukraine, he would have invaded anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That was another miscalculation.
To Anna's credit, she admitted that she was wrong about not believing President Biden about Russia invading Ukraine. Now, considering they were wrong about the invasion, it's possible that even if they saw articles about Biden trying to make peace deals behind the scenes, they would dismiss those too. Here is a clip from Bloomberg Quick Take.
I have no immediate plans to contact Mr. Putin. Mr. Putin is, let me choose my words very carefully. I'm prepared to speak with Mr. Putin if in fact there is an interest in him deciding he's looking for a way to end the war. He hasn't done that yet. If that's the case, in consultation with my French and my NATO friends, I'll be happy to sit down with Putin to see what he has in mind. He hasn't done that yet. In the meantime, I think it's absolutely critical what Emmanuel said. We must support the Ukrainian people. The idea that Putin is ever going to defeat Ukraine is beyond comprehension. How does he get himself out of the circumstance he's in? I'm prepared, if he's willing to talk, to find out what he's willing to do, but I'll only do it in consultation with my NATO allies. I'm not going to do it on my own.
And to quote the New York Times, U.S. officials had previously assessed that Mr. Putin had no intention of negotiating seriously until after the U.S. presidential election in November. Mr. Putin, they say, wants to wait to see whether former President Donald J. Trump might return to the White House and offer him more favorable terms. Putin gambled correctly because his BFF Trump was elected president again and favors him over Ukraine. We can blame former President Biden for many things, but being responsible for this Ukraine-Russia war and not wanting peace is not one of them. I know Cenk and TYT have been on this turn to the right for a while now and are getting called out for it, most notably by the Vanguard, but Cenk's recent take is ridiculous. Maybe now with Midas Touch taking the #1 podcast spot from Joe Rogan, they will turn back to their roots of being part of the progressive movement again. Thanks for watching The Independent Progressive, and take care of yourself. The Independent Progressive.